guys.
Come on, stupid.
You call me stupid?
Yes.
All right, guys, these are beginner mistakes I made in the gym that I wish I knew, that I know now, that I'm gonna tell you guys so you guys don't make the same mistakes, or you can switch up your program, help you even more. First mistake, joining the gym. You're always gonna have body dysmorphia and you're gonna be the smallest you ever were in your life on the first day. No, first mistake was doing cardio because we just finished cardio, but whenever we do cardio, when I used to do the incline, so I would put the incline at like a 12.0 to a 3.8, but the thing was, whenever I did it, I think this is a really common thing to do, is kind of put your hands on the machine itself, but most people don't realize when you do this, you're putting less demand on your body, less demand on your glutes, less demand on your hamstrings. So you're not burning as many calories as you think you are. We're just using this as an idea to kind of dictate how many calories you burn. Like even when it says 2 calories, it doesn't really mean 2-3 calories, just giving you an estimate. But by just doing the same thing over and over each week, if you do the same amount of cardio, you just either increase the sessions or the durations, and that's how you know whether you're actually burning more calories. But doing this takes a lot of tension and a lot of load off your hamstrings, your glutes, your back. And in that case, I would just go flat. What would you do?
Just fly off.
We're gonna fly off. But yeah, in that case, I would just do that. Usually we started the cardio a little bit before. Sometimes we go afterwards, but I like to do the cardio first and to increase the dopamine, the serotonin levels, all the chemical reactions in my brain while my cameraman sweats all over the camera.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
All right, that was first mistake.
Well, what's next?
Mistake number 2. Second mistake, whenever you come up to this bar right here, is a vertical tall bar, and you start attempting to do
Just
something.
run away from it.
Just run away. Well, no, it's doing the pull-ups, you guys. And it's doing pull-ups in a particular way. So whenever most people, I believe, that do these pull-ups, you go hands about shoulder width apart, and then they immediately just start doing a regular pull-up like this. When you do that, you're mostly pulling with your biceps. There's no scapular retraction, in which case you're really just working out your mid-back, your upper back. You're basically working out the particular muscles where you see that V-shaped body that you guys see in commercials with all the celebrities. Besides the enhancements they might be taking, which they might be, this is a really good way to get that V taper, so that wide back. So the way I would do it is like, I think about driving my sternum to the bar, and when I do it, I have to lean back. So now I'm engaging my latissimus dorsi, my lower back, my mid back, my rhomboids, my teres major, minor, my upper back, everything.
Be one with the bar, guys. Just one with
Be one with the bar. And if you're not one, it's gonna one up you and injure you. So in which case, this is how we're gonna do it. Hands about shoulder width apart. And like I said, I drive my sternum to the bar instead of just pulling up like that. I'm gonna engage a lot of biceps. I lean back and I think about just driving my sternum to the bar, right? So, and then I make sure I fully lengthen my muscles at the bottom because that's really important. And then if you really can't do it, just go home. No, I'm kidding. If you can't do it, if you can't do a pull-up, don't go home. Stop that. Just try to keep doing it as many times as you can. Every single person I've worked with, I think the best case scenario is really like practice makes perfect.
I used to be able to not do one pull-up.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And now you can do how many? 5?
No, I could do like 10.
Oh yeah, he did 5 on the second set. You did 10 or 12?
I did 12 actually on the first set.
On the first one?
Yeah. And I used to be able to do 0. So.
0?
Yeah.
Hey, Heller.
Even Heller knows.
Even Heller knows. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you can't do it, I would just start doing it. I know people like to use bands, the machine assistants, but I think mentally you get too used to it. And now you're just thinking about going to that particular machine or just grabbing those bands. I would just start it and just start doing it because you're just gonna get better at it.
You gotta think about it like this. Like there was once upon a time where you could only eat 1 Krispy Kreme donut. Now you can eat 6.
Yeah, you know what? It's like that. So once you start at 1,
the same theory really applies.
Once you start eating 1, the second and third one just goes down easier.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And then you could like add a milkshake to it and stuff like that. So just use that analogy.
The lowest calorie one was like 200 calories. Nah, screw that. Don't do that. Stay on your deficit. stay good looking.
Don't
But in your
listen to him,
mind,
guys.
you're probably not going to be really good looking. You're just going to have body dysmorphia like we all do in here. But it's fine. You're still going to look good to other people. Maybe not to you, but to other people you will.
What if I don't want to end it?
We have to go on to our next set. We have to end it. All right, guys, next biggest mistake. This is the third mistake. I've been doing this one actually for a few years, was whenever I step up to the plate, hit a home run.
Batter up.
Batter up. Whenever I did cable curls, is like I would usually just go up to any cable. So I'll just use this for example. There's two methods. You can actually inherently do this. I don't think anyone's better than the other one, but I think with the next particular movement I show you, it's a little bit better in the fully lengthened position. So I come here and I just do a regular curl. This is not a bad movement at all, but instead of just doing a regular cable curl like that, if I want to fully lengthen the bicep, I could just do a Bayesian curl, in which case I would just take a step forward. I don't have a choice, I have to take a step forward. Kind of lean your torso forward, make sure your biceps in the fully lengthened position. So your arms are basically just behind your torso. Lean forward slightly. Your feet are just gonna be placed. Feet really just depends on the stability, because the more stability you have from the bottom up, the easier it's gonna be for you to curl and keep your arms in a fixed path. All right, so with the key is with the Bayesian curl, you just really wanna just keep your elbows tucked in and you don't swing and you don't cause any momentum. So like instead of going like this, right, the biggest thing is you really wanna do is just keep your elbows tucked in, same position, and don't have that move, just lean slightly forward. And depending on your feet, so it's either, I'm just kind of keeping my feet at the same distance, right next to each other. You all right?
Yeah.
Or I'm just putting 1 foot forward. I feel like 1 foot forward kind of helps with more stability. And like I said, maybe get it from the side. Yeah. So
I do have it from the side, yeah.
Get it from everywhere. Get it from the back. No.
Stop.
All right, so if I keep my hands, my arm pad like a little bit behind my body, I'm gonna already strengthen the fully lengthened position of the biceps, which is gonna cause more mechanical tension with less weight. So like I said, we don't swing. I use very minimal weights. If anything, I'm using like 40 pounds. I don't think you need a lot, especially because the biceps aren't like your chest or your quads.
When are we gonna see the exercise?
Yeah, all right. So like I said, your arms stay in a fixed path. Don't move your elbows. Your elbows stay tucked in. Same position. I think that's the worst mistake most people make, is instead of coming up here, because you're gonna start feeling it in your front delts, which is not what you wanna do. You wanna just stay in the same position.
Just assume the position.
Assume the position. The only reason why we look decent is because we're on a cut, or else I look fluffy. I look probably pretty fluffy, like the Marshmallow Man. Mm-hmm. Was it the Marshmallow Man?
You still do, bro.
Yeah, I still look fluffy. It's all right. One of my favorite attachments is either the cable, because I could fully lengthen the position. I either grab the 2 D handle ones, or I grab this one's kind of like a V bar, but it's wider. It allows me to kind of keep a shoulder width apart. I'm able to fully lengthen the muscle, get more of a stretched position, in which case I'm gonna lay in the weight just to show it. And then I think the next biggest key, besides setting this up, is obviously keep your feet on the machine for stability. And when you go to do a seated row, you're driving basically your elbows back. It's not a bicep movement. So when people do this, I see a lot of the times the biggest mistake, this is actually what I did, was driving my biceps toward my body. But you got to think about driving your elbows back to really feel it in your lats, your mid back, your upper back, really, but it's really engaging in your latissimus dorsi. But that would be really the biggest mistake, is really not driving my elbows back to really feel it in my latissimus dorsi, dorsi latissimus. Everything else, I have a slight bend in my knees. My hips stay in the same position. And the only thing that's moving and pulling me forward is literally my arms. That's it. All right, guys, so one of the biggest things I've seen is people do hanging leg raise. this is actually one of the biggest mistakes I made, was doing a hanging leg raise for my abdominals, right? But the biggest problem was that either my hip flexors would give out or my hands would give out because I got weak little hands. No. So in which case, instead of doing that, it's easier to just do a rope crunch. So we're gonna grab a rope and do a quick example, right? And I like using a rope because we can engage in the rectus abdominis. So, and the only way to really engage in your abdominal muscles is full extension of your spine and flexion. And to do that, this is the best way. You're literally gonna grab a rope, you're gonna get on your knees, maybe come a little lower.
No, I got you, perfect.
Sure. All right, so you keep your hips in the same...
Don't question me.
You keep your hips in the same path, you slightly arch your lower back, and you drive the rope to your ears, keep it there, and the only thing that moves is your spine. So you're just you're basically just bringing the rope to your knees, fully extending the spine, right? Keep your hips in the same position so it's not like a one motion, because I used to do that all the time. Or you just bring your hands to the floor. You can't do that either. You have to actually keep your hips in the same positioning and fully flex your spine to really engage in your abdominal muscles. That's the only way you're really gonna feel it. And I think this is better because you have resistance. My hands shouldn't really be the limiting factor as long as you're using proper weight. If you're doing this the smart way. Inherently, like my hip flexors aren't giving out either because your hips just stay in the same position. Don't question me.
Don't question me.
All right, so the only thing we're really doing, like I said, if I can go back in time and tell my stupid 16-year-old self, hey, get off the floor, stupid. Go do this instead. This is exactly how you're gonna do it, right? Fully extension and then fully flexing the spine.
Gotta say, younger Mikey was a dumbass.
And that's how you make a Krispy Kreme donut. All right,